All right, so what we're going to do next is me and Lily, or Lily and I, are going to teach a little bit on a method of sharing the gospel. I learned this a little bit at T4, which is a Kingdom Channels training, and I think we did about 12 hours of classroom on this. And then Lily just got back from Senegal, and they absolutely pound this into you down there. So we're going to teach you a little bit. My encouragement to you is take what you learn from this and make it personal, and use it more as a reference point, is what I've done with it, like something to go back to. Kind of just like a framework for sharing the gospel. It's by no means a promise of success. Like, we're not the surgeon, but we can prepare the operating table. So the first lesson I'll be teaching, another thing is take a lot of notes and draw what I draw on there, because we'll have you teach it to each other, and then we'll have volunteers come up and teach it to everybody. So take notes and be prepared. And if people don't volunteer, I'll pick on people. All right, so the first lesson is called The Vision. And these are the scriptures here that will be used in it. Could I have somebody read Matthew 24:14?
And this gospel of the kingdom will be proclaimed throughout the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come.
All right, so we're giving a timeline. So the gospel will be proclaimed, and there's an end. So Jesus is talking to the disciples, and he's saying there's a timeline. He knows when that is, and he's giving us a glimpse. He's giving us a picture of what needs to be true to accomplish that end. Could I have somebody read Revelation 7:9?
After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed in white robes and palms in their hands.
So here we see the end. Like, the end is a promise. And to me, that's actually sobering. Because there is a lot of people dying right now without Christ. And there is a judgment day. So where are we on this timeline? Could I have somebody read Matthew 28:18?
And Jesus came and spake unto them, saying, All power is given unto me in heaven and in earth.
So I build pool barns. So I have an end goal, and they give me a blueprint to get there. So Christ has told us there's a timeline. He's told us the end, and he's told us where we are and what the blueprint is to prepare for the end. And so our responsibility, our location, is to go, baptize, and teach. Go, baptize, and teach. Sounds so simple. That's the blueprint to prepare for this. I'm going to give you some stats. And when I heard them, something inside of me, like, maybe screamed is a good way to put it. So Senegal has a population of 18 million, roughly, with 0.02% evangelical. 0.02. And 373 people die a day. And not even one of those is a believer. It's like maybe 0.75% a day is going to be a believer. Like, that's pretty sobering. That's 372 people a day in one country dying without Christ. And that's why I believe this is so important. All right, let's take a couple minutes and teach it to each other. So we have tables with 3.
I just have a note. The verses, the middle one is 18 through 20. It's like the whole.
18 through 20. Oh, my bad. All right. So whoever you're sitting with, if there's 3, just be quick. Yeah, it looks like all 3s. And go ahead and teach it to each other. All right. Volunteer to come teach it.
Might have to spin the wheel.
Where is this wheel? Okay. Do I have to show it to them or can I just? Perfect. I'm holding it straight up. How's it? Okay, so we'll go like this. We have, either RJ or Anwin. All right, send it.
Okay, so in Matthew 24:14,
Is that right on the board?
in this passage right here, it tells us how the end will come when all nations have heard the gospel. And then it's like a timeline, and that's at the beginning. Don't laugh at me. I'm not trying. Then at the end is Revelation 7:9, where it talks about the judgment, when and all nations will be there in heaven at God's throne. And here in Matthew 28:18-20, it tells us how to bring this to come to pass, the steps that we need to take. And that is to go, to baptize them, and after that, to teach so that those can go also.
Nice. Thank you. All right. I believe we'll come back to that one later. So lesson 2 is river of death and river of life. All right. Can I have somebody read Matthew 4:19?
Matthew 4:19. Then he said to them, "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men."
All right, so here we see in the scriptures, there are only 2 types of people, the saved and the unsaved. And here Jesus is talking to the saved, and he's giving them an identity as fishers of men. Oof. All right, can I have somebody read John 10:10?
The thief comes not but for to steal, and to kill, and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly.
So we see in John 10:10 that the devil only comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Like, that is his whole mission. And that's the river of death. Have somebody read John 3:16.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, whosoever believeth on him should not perish but have everlasting life.
Thank you. I know we don't really need to read that one, but all right, so that's the river of life on this side. So our identity is as fishers of men. And so all we can do really is consistently cast, right? Like, we can't snag them and put them over there. We can't, there's not a shortcut, but we can consistently cast. And they get to make the decision, right? It's back to, we can prepare the operating table, but we don't operate the surgery. Have somebody read Ezekiel 3:18.
Hey, Javon, let them put up their hand and I'll give them the mic.
Okay. Ezekiel 3:18. Who's got it? Marvin.
When I say unto the wicked, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speaketh to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand.
Can we have that verse again? I didn't catch it.
The last one?
Yeah.
Ezekiel 3:18. Man, that passage is pretty sobering. Like, how I read that passage is, when I'm given an opportunity to share the gospel and I don't take action, I'm held responsible for that person's blood. Right? They may die in their iniquity because I didn't say something. To be bold in Christ and humble in the things of yourself. All right, let's take 5 minutes, reteach it to each other. All right. Do we have a volunteer or do I get to spin the wheel?
Volunteer for that.
All right, wheel guys. We have Mary Stolzfus.
Okay, so we have a river of death and a river of life, which is the river of death is illustrated in John 10:10, where it says, "The thief comes only to kill and to steal and to destroy." So that represents the river of death. And then the river of life is John 3:16, where Jesus says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life." So this is the river of life. And then we have been given the responsibility in Matthew 4:19, where Jesus says, "Follow me and I will make you fishers of men." So we have been given this responsibility to fish for the ones that are in the river of death, and to bring them into the river of life. And then he mentioned in Ezekiel 3:18, where it says, if we don't, or the responsibility is on us, and if we don't follow that responsibility, then it's on us. It's not their fault because they never heard, but it's on us.
Thank you. All right, so we'll go into those two lessons more later, I believe. But I'm going to give the time to Lily now to at least introduce what she's teaching.
Okay, well, I am so excited about this. I got back from Senegal I got back to the States like 3 weeks ago, and it was something that was pretty life-changing for me. I'd been in Ghana before, and I was on set 1, and I'd been back like 3 times after that, and I'd been in the Middle East. And like I had a ton of training. I knew how to do security briefings. I knew how to travel. I knew how to pack. I knew how to live overseas, but I didn't know how to share the gospel. And so when I landed in Senegal, I got in late Sunday night, and Monday morning we slept until like 8 o'clock. And then we went shopping right away, kind of stocked up on groceries. And then all afternoon was classroom learning 4-1, which is what I'm gonna hopefully pass on here. And then by Tuesday, we were out in the village sharing the gospel. And it was just crazy. Like, we were thrown into it. And the thing that I think was most impactful was that I couldn't let my own insecurities stop sharing the gospel, stop me from sharing the gospel, because we'd go out there and the local guys would kind of prep it. We'd get to the village and we'd sit down at someone's house and be like, "Hey, we're here to share the gospel." And then they look at us and be like, "Are you ready?" And I'd be like, "No." But then we just have to start sharing, and we'd share our testimony and share the gospel. And it was really hard, but I learned that I had a lot of head knowledge and I didn't have a lot of heart knowledge. I didn't experience God the same way that I knew him to be faithful. I knew him to give boldness, but I hadn't experienced it for myself. And so being able to go and experience that for myself was pretty insane. And so I wanted to bring that back, because that's who we are as believers. We're supposed to be ambassadors. And something about sharing our testimony with the gospel, people can't argue your testimony. You can't argue that I was in Senegal, because like that happened to me. You can't argue what God is to me, because it's my experience. And we aren't the judge. We aren't supposed to be judging the people, but we're supposed to be witnesses of what we've seen and heard. And so we're supposed to go out and share what we've seen and heard and what we know God to be. And something that was really convicting for me was the quote that they said, "A witness that stays silent betrays the truth." somebody who doesn't faithfully share what they've seen and heard betrays the truth. And I was just like, me living my comfortable life here, knowing how to travel, knowing how to go to dangerous places, but not knowing how to share God is betraying the truth. And that's not who I want to be known as. So we're kind of out of time here for supper. But tomorrow we're going to get into 4-in-1, which is, it stands for 4 lessons, 1 piece of paper, and 1 mission. And basically it's 4 simple lessons that you can, well, in Senegal they had what they called Tree of Life, and it was like 30 lessons to disciple new believers. And they had this gap between somebody getting saved and then discipleship. And so 4-in-1 kind of bridges the gap between somebody just got saved, what do you teach them about their identity, and then before jumping into the 30 lessons of discipleship. But yeah, so it also, the 3rd lesson gives you simple tools to know how to share your testimony, know how to share the gospel in a simple way. So yeah, just make it your own as we teach it. Make it something that you can use here in the States. You can ask different questions. But yeah, we'll be getting into that more tomorrow. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.